Proceed. All right, good afternoon, friends and followers on YouTube and Facebook. We here live again with our next episode of In the Shop Straight Talk with Gevon. But today we have some lovely guests here, to share a wonderful thought and topic that we're gonna discuss about today. Our topic of the day is parents that misusing the kids for the best, for their purpose and their benefit, right? And not giving the child a fair chance to, make use of the options in life. All right. So, ongoing, we have our lovely guest here, my good friend, the young. Allow him to introduce himself.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Esley De Young, and I work in the legal sector in Guyana. Years of experience. Gevon, my good friend, excellent barber as well, and excellent young man in society. As a matter of fact, we need more of him in society, men like him. But it's an interesting topic. It's one that is timely, and here we're going to share our knowledge and experience and see how best we can, dissect this topic.
Yeah, on to the next. My mom here.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Monica. I'm here for the second time, second segment. We're here not to tell you what to do or how to do it. We're just here to share our experiences with you and hope that something sticks.
Yeah,
something would stick with you and you would, try to offer your child or your children help.
Yeah.
And we hope that the program goes well.
Hello, good evening, viewers. My name is Carol, and I'm a part of the panel, and we're here to share, and we're here to help where help is needed, and we're here also to just do our thing.
All right, on forward. The reasons why we come up with this topic today is because of a lot of, misuse that we actually see in society, where parents, using their kids in a form of, I won't say bullyism, because it's your parent, but they misuse these kids in form of situation and not giving them the best opportunity in life to become something of themselves, and forcing them into areas. It goes to male plus female. It's a wide scale of misuse. They have some parents that because they come through a certain state and they feel like the child owe them something because of what they do for the child, right? But we all know on honesty that the child has to come here, and we know there's our responsibility to take on that challenge to give that child the best of the life that we want for that child, not using that child in the essence of our benefit and restricting the child of such. As in right now, we have some females to see, right, that the mothers use to gain relationship or possibly see a guy that like her, and the guy get things going on, and she influence the female to get herself caught up in situations because of her self gains, right? I want to put it out there so the mothers them to understand how effect it could bring to these females. More or less, some of them be young in the early teens and they don't know of such. So I want to pitch it to the young for us to see what's your take on such, the young, to share that message.
First of all, for me, I would say that as parents, your job is never done, and persons too often times think that parenting starts from when that child is growing, or until you start reach hurdles with that child, and then you gotta start kicking in your parental skills. But I believe that parenting starts from conception.
Yeah.
From since a child is conceived, you've got to start channeling your thoughts, your behavioral pattern, and so on things to mold that child. Because a child, as you know, there's a common saying, You can't wait until the tree big then to bend it. You got to bend the tree from young. So young now, and especially with this AI generation that we in, you can't bend the tree when the child born. You got to bend the tree on from conception. So it goes back to what I'm saying. From since that child is conceived, both parents have to start working together to ensure that they nurture that child, talk to that child, do everything in their power to ensure that as that child grows through the different trimesters and on delivery and then continuing to their whatever years of their life, you play that role. Also, as parents, as good parents, and as parents, I often say that, or as a parent, I would often say that, as parents, we act as everything. We act as everything. We act as lawyers, as doctors, as teachers. We are the force, everything for our children.
The old school is good at that.
Very good. So, very good at that. So the fact that we have to act that way, then we have to not only get knowledge in the relevant areas, but you have to be there all the time and do what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to be a supervisor. You have to be the, like the main course meal or the 3-course meal to that child at all time. In addition to that, you apart from nurturing that child, you have to cause and ensure. That's 2 words I like to use whenever dealing with the older ones, the youths. We're living in an era right now that we have the youths, and it's going back to the topic that parents are allowing their children to do things so that it's like certain ends in the house or wherever can be met. And they're not causing and ensuring that they do the things in the right way. Right? The leadership is poor. Way weak when it comes to certain things. You have to cause and ensure. If you're going to cause this child to do this, no, these days you tell a child to do something, you can't just allow that, tell them it and you walk away and expect that child to do that. These children need constant monitoring, constant support. Even if you tell them, oh, John, take this plate in the kitchen and put it in the sink. Apart from you being specific, you have to ensure you watch that child to ensure that a child goes to the kitchen, place that plate in the sink, then you know that whatever your instructions were, it's complete. Because oftentimes we tell a child, oh, go to school and take your education, be the best boy or girl. But how effective are we? Or efficient are we as parents in ensuring that through in that journey to school, you monitor them, you watch them, you observe their behavioral pattern, and you plug where it needs to be plugged. I'm going to give the other panelists a talk. I don't want to talk all night.
All right.
I'm going to branch off a little. We're talking about parents.
Yeah.
And what they do to their kids. Now we gotta understand that it's not every home have both parents. So most times that is left on the mom, who at all times cannot fully control what goes on in the home. She might say, okay, I need y'all to do X, Y, Z. It's not done. But she never like look over her shoulder or think, oh, they haven't done it. Or if she realized that they didn't do it, it's left just like that. But then again, we gotta remember that, as the other panelist said, you always gotta be on these kids. You don't give them no breathing space. You always have to be on them.
Because when kids get spare time, they use
they do all kinds of things. All kinds of things. And it's not, I mean, it's hard for the mother because she's alone. No father figure around to enforce or reinforce what should be done.
And I want to cut you, right? I want to put you, you keep the mic. Now, what I want to see is that the older folks in that time, because we go through that. My mom used to, and my grandma used to know how to steer that shit. But in this Gen Z's generation, we know what we're talking about.
They ain't taking that from you.
Yeah.
Trust me. You could tell them 10,000 times, I want you to do X, Y, Z. And it's not done. you gotta actually stand up there with a whip or something, and most times you can't whip them for them to do what they gotta do.
Well, as what my good friend DeYoung see here is that a child don't just brought itself up just like that. It's where we start our journey from, based on, put our emphasis on the old factual grooming, right, to becomes. So within such, we understand within such that if you do a good job from a toddler stage to the primary stage of 10, 15, in that kind
But as I
of,
said, conception.
right?
Toddler is too big. Now we get these toddlers. Up to today, as a matter of fact, I was having a discussion with a friend, and he was saying that, as a matter of fact, he's a guidance counselor. He lives overseas, and his 2-year-old daughter, he said that he told her to do something, and she deliberately, because she's in a class that is, the children are older than her in play school. So he said he don't know whether she is learning from them, but more than likely because she don't do these things at home. He's giving her an instruction, and she's looking at him and continue to do whatever she's doing with whatever she has in her hands. So he said he told her that, hey, go to the wall and you're on timeout. You're gonna relax there for a minute. And the man says she gone and at the wall, and she put her hands, and while she's 2 years old, she's at the wall, she's crying, but every time she see, he's looking at her, she crying more bad. And when he's not looking, she looking back at the wall and looking to go back and do the exact thing as much as she's there. So it shows that from a toddler stage, these children are so sensible now, and they are in a position to try to outsmart you as a parent who would have been there for years or decades on the earth. So it starts from conception, and as I said, you have to cause and you have to ensure. You have to be effective and efficient with your parenting.
Yeah.
As parents, you will make mistakes. You will make mistakes as well.
Their life issues will bring a distraction.
You will make mistakes
But,
as parents.
You could they get life issues with us. We all know that we're human.
Yeah.
This is what the first thing, we're human. But we all know that they get life issues where it becomes distraction. Your job, personal situations, excessive expenses and so forth. So it creates a different space between, the timings for you to operate in your space. But same way, you still have to try to do your best in that space to get these children in the right orders, because I feel like we're failing a lot right now, tremendously. We're not in that area to say we could clap your hands and say good job, right? The schools, the public, it's just wayward, So that's why we're here to serve this, give us a message to, at least some people could get a resolution from this particular topic to see where they're going in the wrong direction. All right?
As per the topic we're on, sometimes children behave, sometimes it don't always be the parents' fault. Because there's an old saying, you make it sure you make the mind.
Yeah.
But and we're in a generation now where there are a lot of single parents out there, single mothers out there. And yeah, mommy can try she best. Mommy can pass the rules and whatever she want done. But then mommy gotta go to work. When mommy gone to work, the children feel that, all right, she gone, we's the bossy, we doing things our way.
Yeah.
So you would find they can do their own thing, right? Regardless, because there is no parental guidance at that point in time, there is no supervision, so they can just do the thing, And as for parents using their kids for their personal gains, there are some parents don't even know some of the things that the daughter's doing or the son's doing, right? There are some parents that would see the child bring home. For instance, your daughter come home today with your book bag Parents now don't check the children bags.
Well, yeah.
In my time, in my time, I know where you're going to school because I know why I buy and give you.
Yeah.
And when you come home, I'm gonna search your bag.
I cut to you, right? Hold on, Mike. I cut you. Hold on, Mike. But I know of a point in life whereby in my time, because I'm a 90 bar, early 90 bar, right? That the grandmother, even the mothers used to, even check the girls them soon as they reached 11, 12, the mother said, come and check you. I want nobody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really want to get too much into that part, but we know how serious it was.
It's
And
like,
there was a protective barrier.
it's like, you know that, look, I know I send you to school with 2 lead pencils and probably a pen.
Mm-hmm.
Now when you come home, you got 4, 5, 6 lead pencils. Where you get it from?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta tell me where you get it from. I know me buy it and give you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't tell me where you get it back, you gotta carry it back to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then when you go to school tomorrow, you got carried back to school tomorrow. And if when you come home and I check you back and still there, then we got a problem.
No, not only that. I go with you.
And if let's say I don't have the
Because I
time,
want to go
let's
get
say I
You
don't
have
have
to
the time
follow
to
the
go.
shoe to see.
Let's say I don't have the time to go.
Mhm.
I trust you to understand what I say to you and I trust you to obey my instructions.
Mhm.
And if you come back home, you can't hide because I the fast bad. So it's like I in your business.
Yeah, because
I'm minding your business. I checking everything.
This was the old school.
You
This
know?
was the old school.
So-
So resonates.
I can remember
Yeah.
once a woman said to me, I had 2 daughters, I had 2 sons.
Mhm.
It's me responsibility for take care of me, sharing them. It's me responsibility for know if you're going by the orange car over there. I watching you when you're going to the orange car. And she said to me, Eddie, you always walking behind them girls and you don't even get them girl breathing space. I said, darling, I'm a single mom. These children, father, don't help look after these children. Here what is me goal. That these children must be somebody in this life that
Is your-
them father ain't get no time with them must look back and say, yeah, but she did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all sometimes we parents we just fall down. I could remember once hearing that I had an incident with a young man right in Lene here. He used to bring home things. And everybody in the house using where he bringing home because everybody benefited from what he's bringing home. Nobody never asked him where he got it from. He turned a big man, now he turned a bandit. And the police there on the tail. And he went to his mother's home. His sister told me. And he said, Mommy, you make me who I am. Because when I used to bring things home, you never asked me where I got it from. Now, eventually died, the police eventually killed him. And you know what? Before he died, he said, Mommy, you're responsible for me turning a thief, man. Because you encouraged me, you enabled me.
But and there's the thing, you see how it is that the same child decide to turn back the blame on the parents because you encourage it. You understand? You know, you see a child doing something of the extraordinary and they bringing stuff and so forth, and then you accepting it.
And
You know.
just let me interject. They got some mothers got the nice pretty daughters.
You know
And it's
that
like they gonna
dolly
put
likes-
the daughter up for sale.
Yeah.
So the
dolly
best
likes-
buyer,
Mhm.
mommy gonna give you out to the best buyer.
Yeah.
Right?
Highest
And
bidder.
mommy gonna encourage you for dress up nice and go out there. And as the
Shake the
man
tail.
give you whatever, mommy benefiting.
Mhm.
Which is not right. Because as a parent, like the previous panelist said, as a parent, you're responsible for your child.
Yeah.
Them picnic, they ask for come here. And we bring them. And because we brought them here, they are our responsibility. And you are not supposed to tell your child. I hear parents tell your child, look, look right now like me able to move with this child. You got for able. That child did not ask to be born. You brought them here. It's your responsibility. You are a mother. Like I said the last time when I was here, you are a mother until you die.
Yeah.
You are a mother. Your children could marry and gone wherever they want for go. When the head hurt them, they're running back my mommy. You can't say, oh, you're married, you can't. You got to be a part of their
Yeah,
life
because you're
because
still a
you
guidance.
are still, they're looking to you for
For that
guidance.
guidance.
Yeah. I want to, and when we speak about guidance, I mean, we can go a bit biblical here, because as men are the ones who are expected to be guiding their family. No offense to the women who are leading and directing their families. As you mentioned earlier, you are a single mother. You raise your children as a single mother. Kudos to you. As a matter of fact, happy International Women's Day. Belated International Women's Day to all the beautiful women in the world. You guys do an amazing job. We love you. We respect you. And we will forever, I will forever do that. Right? But based on what you said, I think one of the problems you see that a lot of mothers are facing is because we don't have a lot of strong men in society that is going to guide and direct. As much as a woman is doing, or women are doing these things, a woman's job is cut out. I'm not saying that it's limited, but a woman's job is cut out. From a biblical perspective, it's cut out. But as a man, these are things that you have to do. You're supposed to do. You understand? You don't have a choice. Once you put a child out there, you have to guide, you have to be there, support, nurture that child. That's what you have to do as a father. But if we have more fathers who play that role in their children's life, then trust me, you're gonna see things are gonna be easier. And women love the men around, and especially when the men operate like men. As father, you operate like fathers. At my children's school, you have to say I'm functioning as the president for the PTA, right? And there's so many events that we would organize from time to time. Now, we came up with a plan with a concept 2 years ago, cooking with daddy, right? Now, as a day that these children spend with their father, the entire day in school, the fathers come and we would set up different tents according to different grades, and we would cook. Every year we would decide on a certain different meal and we would cook in front of the children. Yeah, it's Utukade primary school, right? So as a PTA body, we work in collab with the teachers, the administration of the school, and the Ministry of Education by extent, and we came up with that. And it has been successful. But the point I want to make is that mothers literally come there to support, because if it's one time of the year you would see that father coming out is on that day, because a lot of fathers just be attending the event. It's a well-attended event.
I ain't cutting you, but this last year we were there.
Yes.
Both of us.
Yes.
And the mothers, no mothers in the kitchen.
Yeah. No mothers. No mothers.
No mothers in the kitchen.
No mothers.
No mothers. Bare fathers.
Just fathers.
He was one of the chef, and I was one of the chef. Which I win him. Right? I was the winner for the.
Yeah, they're grade one.
This one. Yeah, I was the winner for the. Our competitive
the competition. Yeah.
We class take it home, right?
Right.
And there's a very good.
It's a very good initiative. And I don't want to take credit for it, but being a part of the PTA for the last 2 or 3 years, I came up with the ideas like, you know what, this is something that we need to do. We need to see more fathers. And we discussed it, and right away the PTA went on. The executive is like, yes, let's do it. Administrate everybody. And we're the first school in Linden to do that. I'm guided here. I don't want nobody coming for me. But from as far as I know, this is the first school in Linden to do that. And trust me, the day there's be a big celebration, because, and guess what? And they're absent. Some fathers are living in the homes and they're absent. They don't spend time with their children. They don't talk to their children. They don't take them children out. They don't participate. Yes, the mommy might be doing a good job, but as a father, regardless of where you at, you have to spend time you have to play your role. So we need more fathers to support what our women are doing already and make parenting easier. We have a lot of teenagers in school, and as you talked earlier, you said earlier about the backpacks. We saw in the news, only last week, we saw in the news 2 occasions. One where the grade 5 student was found with a firearm in his bag at a primary school at grade 5. And we now know grade 5 is about 9, 10.
9, 10 years. He was 10. The child was 10 years.
Right? And then we had another school doing a spontaneous search, and they unearthed a whole lot of weapons and improvised weapons. And this can only be because parents are not checking your child's bag. You know?
Yeah.
But then, stick a pin, Carol. Stick a pin. I want to pick up the same topic that you had. My daughter, when I first went to America. She started in elementary school, Sherry's. You know, Christmas time, Guyanese people, they buy the little toys and so forth, and you give them, and you even carry it to school and enjoy themselves. And she asked me, Mommy, could I take this water gun to school? I said, yes, why not? It's just a water gun. My daughter got suspended for 2 weeks.
That is over there.
Yes. The teacher saw her with it, took it from her, called me, and said, your daughter is suspended. We don't do this here. We don't. This is just to show you. You got to be so careful with these kids. 2 weeks my daughter been home from school. And I learned.
Because they understand where the good leads. If you actively analyzing that you allow this child with this kind of
What a gun!
the thought would resonate differently.
Now, if you find one with real guns,
Yes, real gun.
hey,
A real gun with
And-
real bullets.
Yes. And
That's
another
scary.
and another thing that got these young men out here impregnating these young girls. They don't want to be fathers. They just want to know, oh, I beg shibin.
Yeah, I agree. with
You know? So when you impregnate this young lady, the responsibility left with this young lady, parents, cause you gone. Right? And I mean, yes, we do talk to our kids. Yes, we do tell them the rights and the wrongs, and we do explain to them, you know, when you turn a young lady, this can happen and that can happen. But then young people, they want to explore. It's like I hear young people saying, oh, this is we time. This is not like you time. I just had at your time and we want to have our time. It's not that we don't want you to have your time. It's just that we want to protect you
Right.
from
Yes,
finding
right.
yourself in some
what's
very
going on.
uncompromising situations where you can't even help yourself. Look how much little girls out there got babies. Some of them, when you ask them who's the baby father, they don't even know.
They don't care.
Some of them, the baby father ain't got no time. Mommy and daddy, and most times it is be mommy. Because most of the homes in this place right now is mommy. There are no daddies.
Well, I could give a picture on that, right? I could give a picture on that. To be honest, on the standpoint, because I excel to whole stage, but I understand where it resonate with young men that not being, because they got different stage of elevation, you know. Because from a boy, when he becomes a young man, you operate different, and then when he becomes a grown man, now all up, they get some people never cross the part, you know. They get some people never cross the upper level. They never get taught to cross it. It's like, as we say before, the last topic we had in here concerning these teenagers who excel into adulthood. They have some kids that the parents pamper them through life, that they didn't know that the responsibility, the harsh reality, right? So it's like a mother get a son at home and he don't just lay down and she ain't giving you or telling you, or the father, or as we saying, excuse me, get up. You need to understand that your life and your whole, you know, perspective depends on your consideration of what you think that you want to do in life. Now, if you keep grooming a child in a home and not giving that child the benefit of the doubt to say, hey, this here is wrong. Do you need this? I would say to you, for more or less, as we talked before, they're bringing in a girl in the same house.
And they're bringing in the boys too.
And the woman and the girl bringing in the boys.
boyfriend when mommy gone to work.
You know what I mean? And some others accepting the
Yes,
same.
and they have parents that do accept that. Oh,
And when the
yeah,
child
that's
get pregnant now,
boyfriend.
then now what we know, and you know, both of us could get a little take on this. When we were young and going to date, soon as you tell your mother or your mother see a bike a circle the yard, she said, which one of them girl in this yard the bike coming for? And then she gonna do so straight to the bike parents or trying to figure out which yard he from and where's the background of the particular yard, to know if the child gonna be in a place or they get good guidance from the parents, whoever coming in the yard.
And there was no way that you could stand for it and talk.
Allah, you know.
No way.
So this is what I'm talking about. Now, let me lead back to the topic whereby the parents that misusing the privilege with these kids, using them in the sense of gaining things from grown folks or relationship for their benefits, right?
I think most, I would say mothers, once they got a phone in the hand and they're doing their thing, that child could do whatever they feel like. They would even send them, go do what you want, doing my thing here. And then that child would take it on herself or himself and go out there and do whatever they want to do, whether it's wrong or right. Now, what these mothers or what we mothers need to understand is that most of our girl children or girl boys too, they look to see what the mother doing and what the father doing.
And the public as well.
Not even the public so much. They don't care about public. Trust me. These Gen Zs don't care about public.
That's Gen Zs.
Hey, you don't know what's Gen Zs?
Gen Zs
This is what's going on right here.
The new dimension is it coming from the 2000s. The generation from the 2000s.
So why they call them Gen Zs?
Because it's the air.
The error.
It's the air.
It's the error.
It's the air. And this air here right now that we got here, they don't give a hoot who see, who hear, who know. They do what they got to do when they got to do it and how they got to do it. They don't check for nobody else. Even if the parent trying to talk to them, they don't listen. It go through here and it come through here. They gone out there and do what they got to do. And the poor mother or the father sit down there. They don't know what else to do. The most that they could do is get these kids involved. We got so many sports. Now, I know Lyndon like, Mackenzie like soccer. I know we like athletics.
We got football.
Ay, Carol.
We don't
Sorry.
football.
Okay, sorry. We out there football. We out there football is handball because they play with the hand and the foot and everything.
Right.
So soccer.
We understand the
Carl, leave me alone.
Right? You understand the difference.
Anyway, you got so many sports that these children could be involved in. I know it's something that's going to be expensive, but if we can get these kids involved in some after school program where they can take up most of the time, in doing something meaningful.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Like you were saying, what you're saying is right. But you realize, in our time, we used to play games in school. Football, cricket, basketball, wherever. This time,
After school to when we get
this time is the phone. You can't get them on the phone.
Yes, it's a Gen Z.
Them ain't going outside. That they're on the phone.
But-
It's all about the
but-
phone. The Ministry of Education they reintroduced PT back in schools. So every Friday you gotta go to school with your PT outfit.
And that was this is
Midday,
very-
when school,
very-
when
100%,
soon lunch break.
100%.
When it's lunch break, they're going home. They're going home because they don't want to be a part of the PT activities. Oh, I mean, everybody running around. My granddaughter, I have a granddaughter that's attend secondary school. The first day she decided she go home. So she father said, why you come home? She mother said, why you come home? Oh, me neighbor run, I mean neighbor jump. Ministry say you got to do it, and there's a part of your school curriculum and you have to do it. So the next week, that time she don't come home when school over. And if all parents would take a stand like that,
Yeah, they really
it would happen. But it's this phone thing, this tablet, And these children know so much about this phone that they didn't even know the school work like how they know about this phone.
I know. Now, one of the pitch that I want to put in, right? Dion, let me be honest here, right? As we stated before, children don't raise us up.
Yeah.
Children don't raise us up. A lot of parents find free pass with allowing these children to be stuck in a space because they don't want to deal with the excessive burdens to look over them, because more or less them on their phone themselves, like what mommy said.
Yeah.
So because they want to be bothered, so they know they're gonna be there in the space.
Yeah.
You know, YouTube does let me be honest, how this phone
Even going on this YouTube, some of the platforms that these children
Good.
the adults
Like-
might be on it.
Alright.
Higher than the adults.
It's
No,
higher
I don't really want to stray away
Yeah.
from it, but I'm gonna left an emphasis on that particular part. Right now, we have females that locked themselves in the room and TikTok in the bamzi on a showcase. Soon you see the little girl guy in the room, you will know that they're there for Hollywood in the room, and by seeing them and they're there and they're turning their back and all these kind of things, and it gets so wayward now that it comes a norm,
A trend.
a trend, right? So I feel that parents should, factor in these kind of things.
Some parents don't have the control. Like I said earlier, some parents do not be at home. They're the breadwinner. They have to go out there, hustle, make ends meet.
Well, we
So when they go out, sometimes they might think that a mother that's going to look over the children, or might think that an auntie or a sister or a brother can say, keep an eye on these kids. So these children are already on their own. And because they're on their own, they do whatever they feel like. And then it becomes a time now.
Think about some parents who does have the opportunity to pay that emphasis, because remember it's a wide scale.
Right, good. And then the parents
Right.
that has the opportunity, like Monica said, they're doing the same thing with the picnic them a do. Them that they want to be on the phone, they want to Google, they want to do this, they are also on the phone. So if I'm on my phone all the time, I don't have time to see what my child is doing. And there is where the problem is. So who is going to tell these parents that always be on the phone? Malo, come off your phone. Yes, you're going to tell them, but are they going to listen?
I keep saying that. I keep saying that it's a collaborative effort. I keep saying that it's not a one fit all. It's family members sometimes we gotta be the one sometimes to stand up. We might have a family member that he or she might have a child or children and they might be portraying a certain behavioral pattern. But too often, you know what happens? Sometimes me want to tell she nothing, me want to tell you nothing how for raise their children or whoever to raise the children, there's them. But at the end of the day, I would normally say something. I'm not gonna say the exact word here because it's thing, but when something hit the fan, if a fan blowing and you throw something and it's something wet and nasty, people don't want to be a part of it. People's duck and run. If you get fan and you throw something and it's wet and nasty and it's spilling all over people's duck, nobody wants to be a part of that. You know why? Because at the end of the day,
they get a denial, because they get denial within that too, whereby they get some parents.
He said, don't tell me
They
children.
won't tell me they get some parents who defend.
Their kids behave.
So as I say, it's a wide scale of something. It's vice versa in the pattern of it, whereby some people might say, I try to do the best for your child and you're not taking that taking my action on.
But you
more
know,
or less.
You know, there was a saying long ago. It takes a village to raise a child. That don't happen now.
Yeah.
You can't talk to nobody child outside there.
But
They have some
that's what I'm
children,
saying,
there are some kids you can talk to and they would listen. But then 80-90% of the others, you can't tell them nothing because they're going to tell you from the time your mother conceived you till she drop you. Till you turn a big man and turn a big woman.
That's true, but then the thing about it, here's the point that I'm trying to get at. We've been saying that for the longest while. We've been saying that for the last 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 6 years, whatever. But here it is. What are we doing to better that? What are we doing to curb that? Because everybody, you walk on the lane, man on the street, in the 80s and the 90s and the 60s and the 50s and the 70s, you could tell John or Harry or Tim what to do, but now you can't tell them what to do. But what are we doing to change that?
But like you guys rightfully said, it's a new generation.
We cannot, I'm saying that we cannot continue to, we can't continue to nurture this sort of behavior and, oh, me want to talk to nobody, children, and this about it. No, what we've got to do now is that we've got to grab the bull by the horn. We as a society got to come together and we got to try. It is better for you to try and fail than don't try at all. At the end of the day, statistics will show that, okay, for the last 2 years, the last 5 months, the last whatever it is, these groups, that group, they were working collaboratively with this parent, with this child group, with this society, with this body, with this whatever it is, and they are seeing some sort of growth. You're seeing a 1% or 2%. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you this. If you're working with 100 children in a society, in a community, and you get 1 or 2 to change, you see it as a massive progress. You see it as a massive progress. But if all of us are going to say, hey, you know what? This child is doing that, the child is doing that, and I can't tell he or she how to deal with a child, and I'm going to just stand back in the corner, then the problem will continue to grow. And the problem is becoming monstrous on us. It's a monster we have with us, because what is going on in school with the behavioral patterns and what is going on in the communities and so on, the dropouts and all these things, we as society sometimes we are to be blamed. Because why are we going to say back then that, oh, it takes a society to raise a child, but then now nobody wants to put their foot in. Back then the persons didn't care whether the parent caused them or they didn't cause them. What we don't talk is that back then, just like how they have parents who are opposition now, they had parents who were opposition then. Not everybody in society used to say, oh, I'm glad for John scored my son or my daughter. They used to be offensive. I mean, yes, they were more gravitating to people disciplining the children. But now we may have the minority of parents looking for people to discipline the children. But I'm saying, do not let us allow it to fall from the wayside. Let us grab the bull by the horn as society and let we do what we have to do. Let we go into the schools. Let we engage in ministries. Let's form youth programs and different things to better these children.
First suggestion. Start with the schools. If each school, how much schools there have in? No.
A lot.
No. Okay. Now you get somebody on the PTA. Might be 2, 3 people. And you say, look, this is what we want to happen. These kids here, we can handle them. We can bring them up to par. We can tell them, look, this is wrong, this is right. Keep them on a straight line. And each school do that. Within a month, 2 or 6 months, check back again and see the progress.
Yeah, look at the time frame.
Yes.
Yep.
We can start with the schools.
As I said, 1 or 2 child or children, it's deemed as a success. It is deemed as a success. You ain't gotta get everybody. You ain't gotta get 100 persons to buy into your program right away. You understand? Change is constant. Change is constant. So if every 6 months you can see 1 or 2 persons changing and coming on and gravitating to whatever change, then that holistic approach can eventually bloom into something good. You understand?
Don't they have programs that are being initiated in schools, and like you said, these little organizations you form to reform people and all? Don't they have programs like that in Guyana?
I believe that we do have programs.
Good.
But how sincere are some persons to these programs? And again, yes, it's not about being sincere sometimes to the program, but it's also getting the person to who the program was tailored for to be involved in it, to gravitate to it. At the end of the day, you want persons who are committed to going through with these programs, whoever set out by the different person. I don't want to stray too much. I want to go back a bit on the topic of what we're dealing with. It's like my friend here want to say something. Let her conclude before I go on.
I'm just trying to remember certain things now.
Yeah.
If we're going to do this, I'm looking at solutions right now.
Yeah.
Because it's way past the time for just trying to see what we could do, because the situation is bad. Now, just like how the ministry brought back the games day every Friday.
Yeah.
Get the ministry to get people stationed within each school to run these programs. It's compulsory. Let them know it's compulsory. So that after a 6 months period, they can assess it. You have to have some, just like how they buy the PT clothes and they go to school with the PT clothes every Friday. Get the ministry to do that pertaining to this, because I'm telling you, the condition of some kids, the behavior of some kids, it's not easy. We got to start doing something.
Now, I want to put a pitch in this, right? Based on our generation, because I'm 90, y'all possibly around the 70s, right? Now, 50s, you see how far back? So look at it in this way. Because the 90s was the last generation that get the full effect of grandmothers and so forth, right? So at this specific time, they have enough parents that know where they come from. It's not nothing hard to change, They have so much parents right now that's standing whereby they know of grandparents and how they used to carry out their, rules and laws. More or less, they have enough, that we could check a group. Because no, the teaching in Ghana, like how some people saying like, I buying into the new generation, but come on, we all know that what the old generation was doing was more perfect than what the new generation is doing. So we buying into something and allowing our kids to go down hell's gates and expecting the best out of these children in result, right? So I think that right now it isn't hard for no parents right now who come out of the 90s to change the perspective, because they know it's not that they never thought of, so they just accept the defeat by saying, because it's a new generation, we can just go along with it. But that's not the best of it.
That's what I keep saying. It's like everybody, as I was saying earlier to the point, it's like everybody or most persons in society, just even the parents, they just throw themselves down. Man, we ever come out to he or she days about it. Oh God, me ain't able no more. No. I'm saying to you parents, you have got to keep your hands on the wheel. You've got to be that driving force. You've got to keep doing it. You got to keep grinding with your children until your wheels fall off. Until the Almighty God say, listen, I'm going to take you to perfect peace and rest, then is when you should stop grinding. But until such time while you have life and perfect health or strength, you need to continue to do it. You understand? And going back to the topic, do not allow your children or your child to have to be in society or be out there to gain things that you're going to benefit from. Be contented. Teach your children to be contented. Work. Yeah. You need to work hard. The Bible said, by the sweat of your brows you shall eat. You shall eat bread. But at the end of the day, you've got to prepare to work. If you work and you teach your children to be contented, then at the end of the day, whatever you give them or whatever is provided in that home, that should be it. Because so oftentimes when you tell your children certain things and whatever it is, yes, some parents don't tell their children, go and thief. They may not say, go and thief, but they're going to say, they're going to tell the daughter, the young daughter, the teenage daughter that wants something fancy that the other child get. Well, you get it wherever you could get it from. I done with you. You understand? I could give you, they say these things. I could give you this. I could give you this, and this is what I could afford. If you want to get it from somewhere else, you go out there. Now, when you tell your children these things or you tell your daughters these things, you understand? You're giving them that go ahead, like, hey, go and get it wherever you could get it. A man comes along with a fancy thing, a big man or whatever it is, and he can provide for her by a little extra bag and nice boots, get you extra 4,000, 5,000 or whatever it is to go to school when the day comes. Trust me, she's going to give in, and then eventually, as the topic says, parents benefit. She now start getting comfortable with it, and mommy starts seeing certain things nice with you. Where you get it from, girl? Where you get this nice top from? Oh, it's Uncle Paul or Uncle John or Uncle Harry or whatever it is, buy it for me. Mommy start benefiting right away because he now want to make mommy a silencer. He want to silence mommy. So mommy start getting she little fine raise, she little fine change, so she could do certain things. And guess what? Morals and everything drop there. Drop there.
And at the end of the day
Mm-hmm.
when something happened to her.
Yeah.
Well, we understand. Well, what should they say now? What should they
That's
say?
it.
This
That's
gonna
it.
make a fireball to come out of some homes right now. Now they have parents that do things in front of the kids, or kids get to find out or see negative stuff in the sense of outside relationships and so forth, and male or female, because you get something the girl get to see what the mother is doing, and she uses it as a free pass because the mother know that she can't penalize that child because she gets the secret. More or less, the father knew that his son saw him on a move, and now these children now start grow themselves because guess what? I got daddy under my arms. You understand what I'm saying? And daddy can't come out with a contact.
Yep.
So these are the things that will create this more nice effect in homes, and create a lot of destruction for these kids. And a lot of parents don't understand what the choices could make children to becomes. You understand? Now they get some mothers at this specific time that have the daughters, that literally go gain funds. Literally, they literally like lose it in the public to say, hey, if you think or send them like, oh, I see my neighbor doing a little well, and we are in a situation, so do see, and wherever, and they gain funds from that neighbor,
I just see a situation like that in my neighborhood where I live in every day.
But you see, it's a white
Every day.
It's happening.
Two pretty young ladies going to school. I see that. But you can't tell the mommy nothing.
you see,
You tell the mommy something, the mommy gonna fix your business.
Yeah, because there's no food on your table at the end of the day.
and next thing when it comes to poverty, right? A lot of people think that you're poverty restricted from certain things in life. To me, and a lot of people blame the government. Let me be honest here. Guyana is not under poverty. Poverty is when you're living in Africa and there's no light or water that you can't gain nothing from. You can't live in a yard where you have LT style water running in your pipe every day. More or less, the water running over, get bust, the pipe bust and the water flooding, and you can't throw two seed to gain something from that soil. Knowing that for you to eat it's just as simple as it is. Because we know what in our younger days, like for me, because I had my kitchen garden, I know about kitchen garden.
I know about planting.
Right? And we used to assess the house to survive. Right? Now we start talking about price in the markets and so forth, and forget that we get a backyard that we can plant two stuff. Now we start make a level of complaints of our life. Like there's so much jobs out there right now that we understand where humility brings and where humbleness comes from. Right? Now if you understand that if it's a $20,000, we know once you put your children to sit down and say, kids, this is the direction we go in, mommy, you're at 20,000 for this week. This is what we could afford. This is what we could afford. There's $1,000 there for you to go to school. Money to your money. We all walk that part.
But Gevon, I just tell people, I know about working for $300 a week. Your house rent for pay. You have 4 children going to school, $300. When this $300 come in and you study, so much things you got to do, study, what are you doing with this $300? I know about working for the kind of money. In the 80s, in the 90s, I know about working for the kind of money. It was hard. But you can't give up.
Or this is what we talking about.
You can't give up. And you can't because you got your children, your 2 nice little girls.
You
You're going to tell your 2 nice little girls, well, look, mommy can't do it. Yeah, you haven't go out there and see what you could do. They're wrong. Because it's your duty to give your little girls what they need. Not is you little girls, them going to go out there for bring for you. You got to get your behind up and go there and look for what kind of them little girls didn't ask to come here.
Another thing too. Some mothers would give the kids, mostly mothers. Fathers would tell them plain they don't have it. But the mothers, whatever they ask for,
They give it to them.
they find it and they give it regardless of what they had to do to get it. And that child sees that And they're going to come steady asking, Mommy, I could get this, I could get this.
And
And at one point, when Mommy says she can't get it,
She's gonna look for it. She's gonna look for it. And this is what we're talking about. Because let me be honest here, right? Now, as prior to what my mom says just now, once you see you start spoiling a child and not putting the right correction in order, these kids, because kids do gravitate to free pass. And once you see they giving them that space that they say, hey, I could get over this with mommy, or I could get through it with mommy, they use it to the best advantage. You understand?
I guess some young people that say that they're more smarter than me.
Yeah.
They more she's smarter than me. I know how to get through to she or get past she.
And that's why, what you said here just now is very critical. As parents, especially for persons who have children in as we say in the Gen Z era, I'm saying that parenting is a bit harder now because of technology, right? It is harder now. I mean, parental guidance and techniques remain the same, but you have to modernize. Just like how technology is modernizing and everything around it is advancing, as parents, you have to modernize that. At the end of the day, you have to tell yourself, listen, I got to try to be a step ahead of what is going on. We have to be a step of what is going on. We have children now that are so smart that there are certain browsing that these children are au fait with. Yes, the devices or most devices comes with whatever that you can put a parental lock and control on it and whatever it is. That is so, but because technology is so advanced, we have certain children browsing in something called incognito. There is a website called Incognito, or as a web page or whatever it is. You go into any browser, you type in Incognito, and you can browse in there. Anything. A child will go in and type in XXX, a porn site. Anything. And guess what? It gives them access. You don't care who you be. But at the end of it, when the child click on the X on your web page, and you got a little X at the right-hand corner at the top, when you click on the X, that is the end of the history. Nothing is there to show that child's browsing, whatever it is. Everything is gone. So you now thinking, oh, little Johnny or little Mary is in the corner and nothing is going on, or your teenage daughter or your son, nothing is going on with them. But they are ahead. So as parents, you've got to be advanced. If you realize that, hey, I have my children and they are getting ahead, 10 steps ahead of me, and maybe you could afford it, go into your pocket, get the relevant persons, the technician or whoever it is, that they could monitor, do certain things with your browsers. They could restrict it from certain sites. They could do certain things. Whatever you have to do, my point about this is that whatever you have to do as a parent, you do it to help your child. Because not necessarily these children are going out there, right? They're not necessarily going out there and be bad. Some of them are being bad from the homes. The other day, I think about 2 weeks ago, the Ministry of Education had a forum at Lightchus, whereby they had representatives, senior representatives from Georgetown and so on, and they held a meeting with the PTA bodies across Linden and teachers and stakeholders and whoever it is, and looking at ways and means and how they can curb certain behavioral pattern and whatever with children in school. And, they were talking about different things. And I said to them, I said, listen, one of the things that I think we need to do, as it relates to this same, with the bullies in school, is that the bullying don't necessarily start in the classroom, The bullying start on the internet or the phones at home. And the persons who sometimes are in the forefront of the bullying or the bully is not necessarily the person who started the bullying, Sometimes that bully is trying to protect another friend. We have that in school going on. Me, you might get, what I'm saying is that you might get problem. I can't beat you, but I know she's a bully. I get a little money, my parents get one thing at their disposal. I gonna go and read cheap, message she, or I gonna start showing certain insults to you and I gonna do certain things to you. I gonna read she, pay she money and want she to beat you for me. And you, I as a guardian, just like me kind, my parents see me as a pie, I do home. But guess what? I'm using whatever it is at my disposal, my gadget, and my little money, my little funds to pay somebody to get at you. And these are things that are unearthed in the investigation with some of these bullies. So at the end of the day, my point about that is to say that we have children, we have the bullying start on the gadgets at home, and we as parents don't know what your child or your children is going on with. So you have to check and you have to be 10 steps ahead of where things are, especially when it comes to your children. You have to be 10 steps ahead.
Well, this is it. You see, the thing is, when it comes to parenting, all right? Parenting is a stern job. We are gotta understand that there ain't no sleeping time. There ain't no sleeping time. If your child left the house and go out on the road and you know it's a certain time, your mind is there where the child is, or where you try to figure out to get to them, because you understand that, hey, it's probably something wrong, or you as a parent, this is how concerned this be, right? Well, I don't know about this generation parent, but as I'm telling you, this is how it's supposed to be.
It's not happening now.
Right?
It's not happening now. It's not happening.
And if we allows these things to continuously goes in this direction, let me be honest to you. Now, they always say the children is the future. And if we allow this to lead into the direction, then the future, you understand where the future is going? Because
you said something about going out and it activates a spark in my brain or whatever it is. And I want to talk about it because it's what is trending now. It is what is trending now in our schools. Every day we move around this community or around this country, all of us in here. And you know what is the most prevalent thing we see? Hairstyles. Hairstyles. And I believe that is the biggest breaking point. And at the forum the other day with the ministry, I said that to them. I said that to the representatives. I said that when you guys introduce this hairstyle and every child could come where they want and do whatever it is, we had a breakdown from here to here. And if we can cut that out, trust me, we will get back somewhere. No. All is not lost. There's something. Once there's life, there's hope. They can go back and say, listen, all of these weaving and the extension and the way it's called it again, the edges and all these things, it need to cut out. Because I believe that our young women are going to school, or these young women are going to school, and when they go to school or before they leave for school and they watch themselves in the mirror or on the way to school and watch themselves, they say, look at my lashes, look at my eyebrow, look at my hair, my hair, I pay so much money, or mommy or whoever pays so much money for my wig to be installed, or my braids to go in, and their braids long till past the butt till, and these natty thing that they're putting in the hair, some of them getting these artificial dreadlocks.
I ain't cutting, but what about dress code?
Well, we reach into that, we gotta go slow. Let me go very slow. We going with the hairstyle first, my brother. The hairstyle and the general appearance of these children are speaking volume, and that I believe is what is giving them the spunks. Because if I'm looking a certain way, and when I go to school, Miss looking just like me, and Miss is a big woman with 2-3 children, or a married woman, or whatever it is, or a woman, me and Miss up on the same level. You understand? So if Miss taking man, I could get a man too. You understand? If Miss doing this, I could do that too. There is no watching and being that, oh, there's a difference. This is a woman on this end, there's a line, and this is a girl on this end. Or this is a lady there, and no, it ain't get up. And we think with our males, you look around here, every single male, these little boys, well, not every single, I'm corrected. 95% of our little boys that are going to school from primary to secondary. Gevon is a barber, they come in here. The hairstyle, big all they want is a line up and they puff they up. Most of them are going to school like that. A big puff here, and then the parents come into the school. Oh, he get sick easily. Why me? He and all we didn't get sick when we going to school. I got to school with me head ball. I used to gotta go under sometimes you gotta cut here and that mango tree or somebody bottom house or something, you know them big tree, and they get one barber alone in the village and he cutting everybody here, and he shiny hair, and them time is with razor blade and comb, and he's scraping your head, scraping your head, scraping your head. When you go home,
Teachers used to cut your hair.
or your teachers got cut your hair.
With it high.
You understand?
They cut it.
When you go to school, your head either bald or your head is very low and it's neat.
The morals used to be instilled in the right format.
In the right format, your hair used to be low because apart from that, sometimes your mother and your father barely struggling to make ends meet. They can't cut your hair 2-3 times. Something hair cutting 2 times a term. How it's a shine. You understand? So where are we now? This thing detests me. I'm telling you now from the bottom of my heart. There's nothing that annoys me more in the morning when I see these children with their hair big on the head and just a little lining or whatever it is. We have got to stop that nonsense.
This where you come from to understand.
You understand?
The morals.
Because when these children are going to school like that, then it gives them a different impression or it gives them a different story of who they are. I'm a big man. I'm a big woman. Because me and the big man on the road, me and daddy get the same hairstyle. Me and this body get the same hairstyle. So I'm a big man and I can do big people stuff. But we've got to go back to the drawing board and take out those things with the hairstyle or whatever it is. And I'm not saying just the ministry has to play a part. As parents, as society, as everybody has to play a part. You understand? Even if you come to the barber shop, if you get 10 barbers around here and everybody say, listen, me, for $500 or $1,000, you go somewhere else. And we have barbers that take that stand towards the children. What is going to happen? Eventually, your parents are going to come and cut here. Because the mothers and the fathers are bringing medical paper now to the school and say, oh, if my son here cut, he can get sick, he can dead. Why me, you and dad? I mean, you big and strong over here, you ball going to school.
Yeah.
Man, listen.
Now, we understand how much gimmicks the kids play with parents, right? Let me be real. We understand where a child use his privilege or our privilege to get the best out of what they want and play the games for the parents to buy in. All right? And parents, we need to step up. We need to step up. Is a wide scale of stuff that we don't understand at this time, whereby we be going down that road, that knowing that these kids is the future of tomorrow, and then we allow these kids to end up in a path that they can't be the future tomorrow. You don't get any less actors and the Cubans, they got in home. You know what I mean?
Some of them even dying so young.
So we need you to you know, because some people think that they don't live at 25, they live the best life. Come on, man. We need people to, you know, be more morals of life. And you know, it was a very good topic today. Let me be honest here. We run past our hour that we was to finish at, and it was a very good topic to put an emphasis out there so the people could understand where parents not being lead. They're being guided, not being lead, because the children guiding them where they want to go and they walking with the child. Come on, we need to do a better job in that perspective, right? Parents, we asking y'all, please give your kids a chance to live. Don't misuse your children them or your child into a perspective of giving them a relationship, or they're working for a little funds in a certain way and then you're bullying them through it and not giving them a honest opportunity to get some sort of a, you know, and grow. So we need you to understand, if you start denying your children them certain privilege, it becomes an effect, and they will say that, you know, they put the look down on themselves. So we don't need such. We need parents to understand that children feelings is very, you know, very parallel.
Yeah.
And if you trouble something that parallel, it becomes spoiled fast, right? Because children's old things for a long time span because of what the parents did to them. So we're looking for y'all to change such. I hope that somebody gets some sort of resolution from this topic. You know, we're looking at a wide scale to move forward. Next week, our topic would be relationship. We don't know what relationship as well, but we're gonna do relationship. If it's relationship with the brother and children, or a relationship with spouse, or community relationship. All right, we here again once more. All right, here again once more in my space. This is In the Shop Street Talk with Gevon. You know, we want to allow the guests to share something before they left, something encouraging, and you know.
I want to say that, first of all, this is an ongoing. This topic should be ongoing, and it is something that should be ongoing, not just within the confines of this shop, but within our communities and country and world at large, because it is important. And without these discussions, it is harder for us to curb what is going on. We have to put boots on the ground, and we have to fight that fight as adults and be there for our children, one, and we have to be there for society. We have to make it happen. It's not a one-man show. It's a society, it's a community effort. Don't just look at our neighbor children or look at other children. Oh, I done and I finished with that. We have got to be our brothers keepers, and we have got to have more being done.
More
Children, youths, we love you. We're not going against you in any way to say that, oh, we don't love you or we want to shun you. We love you, but we want the best for our youths. We want our youths to strive. We want our youths to be the better leaders for tomorrow. We want our youths to be persons, be better parents in time to come, because soon you will become parents. And when your time comes, you will have to do what is necessary and do the right thing to ensure that your children get the right parental guidance and control. Parents, do what you have to do. Work with us, work with society, work with whomever you can get the relevant help from to ensure that your child or your children grows in the right way and they can be the best that they can be. Right? Don't throw your child away. All is not lost. All is not lost, but you got to keep trying. If you don't keep trying, it's not going to work. Thank you.
To all parents, mothers and fathers, we hope that whatever was said here this afternoon, that you gain something, even if it's very small. You gain something that you can put into practice to curb your daughter or your son's behavior. We hope that as a group, as a society, we would be able to do more for the kids, because they need a lot of help. They need a lot of help. And I hope this being a start, we would be able to do more for them. Also helping the parents too, because they need help too. So we hope that you grasp something this afternoon. Thank you.
So we're gonna close. I say good evening to all our followers and friends. We here once more. This was a great topic. We touched on a lot of things, and next week again we will be more impactful, and we're gonna attack in the relationships. We're gonna choose a standpoint next week, but we wanna leave a warm welcome with all the people that tune in. Keep following, and we're gonna always keep bringing out the right messages so that the public could get some sort of resolution from. So just keep embracing your spouse, your friend, your family members to do good at these kids, because we're not gonna get a future if we allow such to happen. All right. So I want to say kudos, and next week we here again.